welcome to the lovely HP community and 5D collective. Today's full moon brings soul, self themes, and love into our menu, and we have been already talking about it. As those who know, I go with the flow when it comes to planets moving around. The 5D ascension energies for the 5D collective are navigated very differently than the 4D, 3D. So let me begin with vulnerability in relationships and love. You can check out some of those episodes. Self-aware people and mystics. That means that you're an emotionally available and a very deep person, as well as smart, stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable. Therefore, you do know how to be empowered, and the empowered feminine can tell you all about our only interests are empowered masculines. When we meet masculines and distorted feminines, we thank them for the gifts they bring us as a 5D mystic, empowered, enlightened feminine of my own oversoul. There's plenty of stories we share. So, the thread to your vessel is your heart. That is the immediate sentence that came through for you all. And that's because of you now having the ownership of your body and the ownership of the lovely thread that connects your mind to your heart and vice versa, right? So you are your own inner child adult, not a inner child that needs reparenting. Means you own your own yin yang. Means you own your mind and your body, your heart, and your whole self. So you have the observation, witnessing, and narrating by choice. You're not afraid to love. In fact, the only people who are afraid to love are the ones who need Terrio Patrick Chiahan, and the ones who don't know how to be the thread to their own vessel and their heart in a way that is open to the truth of you as part of all, and as a person who doesn't have to, with ego, soul, self, reject or accept or basically chime in when it comes to someone else's way of handling a relationship, because our focus is relationship. So let me get to that in a minute. You share life with a whole self soul, and in those relationships you are not afraid to speak your truth. Okay, this is where love is only anchored in when the truth is what we have, which is clear of pain, because it is a human being who uses two sides, bilateral integration and vertical also, and then doesn't hide their own feelings. Okay, so hiding feelings is what people do that have trauma that they could address. And they will say, I don't trust anyone. And we all can use sentences, but the point is you take a leap of, yes, I'm into wanting to love when you're a 5D collective person. Okay, so I'm channeling a full moon, brings out a bunch of stuff. People who are 5D, we don't have fear of it because we don't have fear of feelings. We don't have fear of a relationship going through recalibration. We don't have tragedy with emotions. It's not painful. We are mindfully living and loving, as well as spiritually, for some of us, living and loving people for real, not pretend like the Zen master. Okay, so your capacity to build a truly loving relationship is only going to happen if you can speak the truth, not if you are hiding it. So you cannot build a truly loving relationship if you cannot speak the truth because of fear of rejection, abandonment, not being accepted, not being welcome, being treated like a piece of shit. Whatever it is, don't matter. If you can't speak your truth yet, that's why therapists can help you get there. And you're not really fooling me necessarily. I will notice, Cusco, you're fooling yourself and those who are blind also. An embodied, empowered feminine isn't fooled. I'll see the flag and notice there's no flag post. By the time that happens, I'm like, that's a good thing that I noticed that. And so it's when I see masculines and feminines together that I'll notice if I have empowered ones or if I have the ones who are distorted and not empowered at all. And, Pinocchio on his island. So they're fooling each other, but they're okay with Fantasyland. We talked about that one too. I learned about Fantasyland, thankfully, with those who I trust, and that's why I thank all my masculines for teaching me how to notice the masculines and distorted feminines. And then the attachment trauma educators have made me very well aware of what a empowered masculine is going to be. I'm an empowered feminine, so I don't have a question about that. So you learn to speak from your heart, and you don't want to be afraid of being yourself. So that's where we've come to. And this is the opportunity for those who did come to our new moon messages. You were given the support to, okay, it's time to make your move. Romance is on the menu, but not if you're too scared. Obviously, that means that you're not ready. But you won't ever really be ready if you're still scared to love, because trauma is relational. Trust breaks relational. 5D Collective doesn't get into tragedy and drama as they expand. I'm channeling again. Okay, so you own the body and the heart. You are the thread to your vessel, because your vessel is your body and the thread is basically your nervous system, and state of safety is what you have acquired in these past years, and that's because you own the sense of self, the core narrative relational soul self. So your inner self is yours, and when you're in a relational self, you know how to differentiate and be having a good time. Okay, awesome sauce. So self-aware, tuning and regulating people. We don't get lost and we don't get disconnected from Anima Mundi. In fact, our lovely capacity to know what that awe and splendor and embrace is of true love is that breath that is taken away, and then there's a sacred force that surrounds you that you feel immediately. It asks for nothing in return. And here's our restorative embodiment self. And that's what you can perceive now that you know how to navigate your social engagement system, thanks to putting mindset skills, mindfulness skills, and mindset skills and practices, however you want to use those words. So, thoughts are thoughts and feelings are feelings, and that's growing softer and softer, and your maladaptive patterns and or adaptive child patterns are in your hands, and you're motivated to keep on moving into the sphere of your state of safety. You like it. You like the integrated brain. You like how it feels to be able to see above the fray and rise, and to radically accept you, and to be curious about you, but also about others. Oh, am I not decent enough to be saluted? Doesn't make you pissed if you're a woman. You do know as a woman, like I do, that men are not safe yet, but we know that there's the men who are working with us, and da-da-da. So our heart is open and unlocks more generosity. We won't be picking a bear, but we definitely would love to pick the man so that we can be with the right one, not ones who want to strangle us. I've seen a recent very disturbing interview as a woman asks a man, I don't know what, but he's telling his men friends to make sure that they're not bigger than they are, and that woman needs to know that they can actually hold them down and strangle them. He does the gesture, and I'm like, yeah. That's why I'm not interested necessarily in fucking anyone. I want to wait to see with your boys what you do and how you talk, and I'm going to eavesdrop every time I get a chance to notice what is coming out of your mouth, and then I'll be like, yep, nope. Hey, men friends, the good ones. You have any good men friends around by any chance? But I'll still have to wait and watch. So while our hearts love, we're not afraid of it being broken, our physical safety is our priority. So emotional, mental, and physical safety. Physical, number one. Emotional, mental, we're not afraid to feel. So again, you have a good third eye, which is why those of you who were given the opportunity to know, okay, make your move. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. If you're afraid to make a move, then you're not, again, ready. No need to do it. But at the same time, being able to take the next step is actually something that you're being called to, because your soul and yourself wants to share love, wants to share the depth of you. If you now have access to this deep, a whole new world, you have a depth of self, you have a depth of experiencing intellectually, emotionally, and physically. It's nice when you have that, which is a 5D frequency person, which you know where to find them. Also, you know that if they say, nope, not interested, it's okay. That happens. That's the part. So you are being given the opportunity to take that next step. If we can't express or aren't expressing our true feelings, it's not going to be a genuine relationship. Ron Siegel, Psych Deep, but you do and can express your feelings. You want to. And that's because you're interested in sharing life. That's your mammalian heritage. So some people will have one secure attachment figure, not connection. Secure attachment figure means you have the potential to be in a lifelong partnership or a life time partnership. But you're going to have to see how it goes, right? So that's something that we all know. You play it by ear. But you don't have stonewalling, criticism, defensiveness, or contempt. When it comes to love, you're truly I love to love, and my baby, he loves to dance, and he loves to love, and he loves to live, and he loves to learn and expand and not cast stones. Okay, so that's what happens when you are a groovy kind of love. When I'm feeling blue, all I have to do is take a look at you, and I'm not so blue. So those who are here, again, you can't build a truly loving relationship if you can't speak the truth because you're afraid of getting rejected. You want to speak from your heart and not be afraid to be yourself. That is you choosing you and choosing truly to try out. And then if your heart is sad, to know that sadness is part of when rejection happens. I was 4 when it happened. And that is your opportunity to self-attune and self-regulate and not distract and not do binge eating or binge or no. It's I want to hang out now with my healthy self-worth buddies and whoever and how whatever it is, and enrich my moment and know that it's not the end of the world. So unlike ancient movies, and still the movies will do, I will, that never ever ever, whenever you hear those words, it is the exaggeration but it is an ineffective usage of verbiage. Okay, that's why we have the 4D collective thinking of the fourth wave of twin flames. So, anyways, long story short, it's time. It's time to love. It's time to be vulnerable. It's time for the soul of you and the self of you to be shared with someone and or more. But again, romance is on the menu. But if you don't take the leap of faith and you don't take your shot, you won't know. And worst case scenario, like I said, you get to have taken the opportunity and then you know that, okay, I did it. Then there's dating apps and there's more, even though I don't personally do the dating apps because, again, I'm a woman, so I don't have trust in men physically at all. And also that's, that's it. So some people, they're okay with it. But for men, women that are open to all of that, there are clear signs when you have an emotionally available person or not. If they make it into a big deal when you're asking questions, your nervous system will be able to tell. Now, if you still have any doubts about your gut, good therapist. And then you add more mindfulness and mindset and mindsight. But see, this is the part of where an embodied, empowered feminine, we'll talk about that one. I have no questions. My gut tells me. But also for this feminine here, being a mystic, I know my oversoul, and I'm the one who spots the potential masculines. And that's why when some masculines or men will say, nah, you make it sound easy that we can hit on you, but it's not true. I'm going to say, you know what? I've been rejected, never made it hard for me to say yes to try it out, actually. But I can understand what you're saying because, yeah, I've been asked and I'm like, nope. And more times than I have actively been the one to initiate. But then again, who's counting? So, long story short, full moon. Love is on the table, and I look forward to being back with some more episodes. Have a great one. I look forward to your moment of glory. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. For love may come and tap you on the shoulder on some night, starless night, no stars. And just in case, you might want to hold her, him, or they, you have a pocket full of starlight. So hopefully the tune that I've been singing to you gets you to, come on, go with the starlight. It's very pretty. Tonight, maybe it was a full moon. Yesterday, today's the full moon, full. But already last night it looked pretty full. So let me know if you want about how it went. Meantime, again, it is beautiful. I will say, from me to you, it's always beautiful to take a shot because if you know, you know, and at least you tried, and that's the part of you won't regret and say, but I didn't ask. Men, women, and days who don't ask regret. And we'll be back again with more. In the meantime, thanks for stopping by.